if you liked hearing us talk about the Lego Movie video game or Lego Movie, you should watch the video game speedrun coming up like now.
Yeah, and here it is.
Okay. Hello. I'm ZirowoTheHirowo, and I'm going to be running the Lego Movie video game. This game is very broken, so we can just... I'll explain everything once we get to it. So this category is to beat every game beat every level in FreePlay, which is pretty much just the story mode, but you can take whatever characters you have unlocked into those levels. So we can, and since the levels weren't intended for them, it just completely breaks every level. So I'm just gonna get started. So yeah, thanks for the good luck, guys. Let's just get started. Time starts on game control, so 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, go. I kind of messed that up a little bit, but it's fine. So right away what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by using 2 controllers at the same time to clear out these enemies faster. This is like the last level, what we're supposed to do, but since it starts on game control, I can skip pretty much just not have any of that intro section at the start. And also, these levels suck. Because overall, where the enemies go, they're really inconsistent. So right now, I'm playing as Superman because he can fly. And flying is pretty powerful in this game. There are only 4 characters that can do it, and none of the levels, except for 1, intended you to fly. And this is what I mean by it's very inconsistent. They just go wherever the heck they want. So every time I defeat a wave of enemies, I forgot to put on extras. That's the very thing that you usually forget. Extras just make the game do stuff faster. There's a storm outside. So every time you clear away all of the bricks on Lord Business's cube, you get a thing that you can throw at them, which will bring you to the next phase. So over here, in this next section, I'm pretty much going to do the same thing as I did before. This level really does not have that much crazy interesting about it. It's pretty basic. But it does have some RNG in it with the enemies. Now right here, Superman's legs look different. Pretty much in this game, you can wear pants, which are pretty much extras, but like really bad, and they give you a certain buff depending on which pair of pants you put on. This one is to give you how fast you go, and of course going faster is it's very helpful. So right here, I can use the laser to destroy these enemies really quickly. So I can continue to destroy their helmet, or not the helmet, the gold bricks on the cube. And now the magician's gonna put down this thing, and I can actually pick it up during the cutscene, which is kind of weird, and kind of aim it, but I can't throw it during the cutscene. So I can do that. It's really hard to aim at the cube because you can't see what you're doing. In this next phase, there's no one who can, like, throw things down, so what I have to do is I need to get the arms stuck, which will happen after they, like, get, like, thrown into the ground 4 times. They'll get stuck, and then I can deal damage, and he's gonna try and pick them up. The fastest is to do it in 2 cycles, 1 for each leg. However, sometimes that just doesn't happen, because this game's great and all. And right, just like that, it didn't happen. It's kind of hard. I was expecting it not to happen. So I can destroy it in one hit, and then I can throw it. Now I need to do the same for the other one, for the other arm, and then I can grapple it down. And that's pretty much what would happen. I would just do that twice for a 2 cycle, but I got a 3 cycle. So now I'm going to grapple it down and destroy the cube for good. Good, using Superman's laser. And that was the final showdown. And that level wasn't really that interesting, but the later levels are going to be much more interesting. And this is the status screen, pretty much to show you what you did in each level. It's pretty much entirely useless information, because we don't do anything in the levels, because our only goal is to go through them as fast as possible. So now I'm going to go to the third to last level, because it's hard. Now I swapped to Ice Cream Joe, because this level revolves around you extinguishing fires, and Ice Cream Joe is a character who can do that without needing to, like, replenish the extinguishing thing, because she has ice cream. And you saw me drop out during the fade-in. That doesn't lose time like it usually should, because it's loading the level. So I can just go past it. Now I can jump on here because I can't destroy that. And now I'm going to skip this entire section by flying up there. Usually I need micromanagers to, like, break the gold stuff, because I usually don't have a character with a laser, but now I do, so I can just use that. And then during the cutscene, I can use the master build. Though I think I was a little bit off. I wasn't, which is good. So I can use the master build during the cutscene a little bit. Then I'm going to be able to throw rocks at the micromanagers that aren't even there. And then I'll swap to Unikitty, because in the next section, they're supposed to have a get-up animation, but Unikitty doesn't have that. So I did some bad character management there. Now I'm going to add in player 2, because this is when they're actually useful. Now here, for whatever reason, I don't need to replenish it, and in the next and last room, I don't need to replenish any of the water in the fire extinguisher, like the firefighters, who I'm supposed to have right now, because this game's well made like that. Now here I need to get like 3 pieces of the master build ready. This is pretty much how most of the game's puzzles work, but we can just ignore all of them most of the time, but here we can't. This is a really hard 1 PTC. Because there's just so much going on, and button mashing, which is kind of hard to do on multiple controllers at the same time. Now for like the ground pound move, you can't like spam the attack button as Superman, because this game's well made and it's gonna try and use your laser instead. So as soon as that's ready, I can use the master build, and then that's back from reality. And there really isn't much to the game yet, but now we're gonna start to get into some of the glitches that are gonna be used. Now here I'm going to swap to this rocket guy because we're going to use him to skip a huge part of this next section. And then I'm going to drop out so that I don't lose time for doing so. And I need to drop out because pants are exclusive to one character on one player, so you can't just 1p2c it all the time, so I need to do that, then swap back so it loads the pants properly. Now here, again, if I position myself correctly, I can pick up the barrel in during the cutscene, but this one's a little bit harder. I probably should have explained that better. The pants are like, when you put them on, they only work for one of the characters at a time. You can put them on any character that wears pants normally. In other words, has the standard feet model, because they can't put the regular feet model onto everything else. Now here I'm going to build this hammer. Sometimes it falls apart, because this game's bad like that. And then we're going to skip a huge section. I'm supposed to just hack a thing all the way up there by turning a thing to... What? I have not done that in so long. I just soft locked because this game's well made. Of course it did. I'm honestly not surprised. Didn't even get to the part in there. So yeah, now I have to do this again, because that's just this kind of game. So anyway, you're supposed to hack this thing by pretty much destroying some micromanagers, then doing a master build to turn an ice cream truck into a flying ice cream truck, and then go up, pull the thing down, hack the thing, and then that'll get you into put you into a robot. However, we already have that robot, so you can just use the bottom, use this, underground section that usually holds a collectible, and you can just... And then you can use that. Yep. 10 minutes in a soft lock. This game soft locks a lot. You can't swap on there on this thing unless you're on the very edge for some reason, because this game's good like that. And I didn't get that soft lock. Sometimes you can't do that. That's the soft lock I expected to happen. I'm going to do my character management before I exit the stage, and that's Bricksburg under attack. That's supposed to be 2 minutes long, and it took 4 minutes because of the soft lock, unfortunately. Sometimes the level end won't load here, because this game's good like that, and that's a soft lock as well. That's why I do Bricksburg so early. And I just got something called the music glitch, pretty much. The game is very confused onto what music track it's supposed to be playing, so it's playing 2 at once. Because it never got rid of the first music track. Anyway, this is Escape from Bricksburg. It's supposed to be the second level. And here, I'm going to destroy this, which removes the invisible ceiling but starts a cutscene, but you can just fly up during the cutscene. Because again, this game's that well made. And then then this room that's supposed to take 4 minutes takes 1. Not even 1. And level doesn't load because this game's that well made. Again, you're probably sensing a theme here. I can do this master build during the cutscene, but it's much harder because you can't see what you're doing. And then after this, I'm gonna have 4 robots to kill, and then I'm supposed to do a bunch of stuff to reveal pieces for a master build, but I've already revealed them, so I can just do it immediately. So then I'm gonna get inside of this motorcycle, and this next section is probably one of the worst in the game. Pretty much here you can't use all of the characters you have. You're stuck with the characters you're supposed to have in story. Oh yeah, the build mechanic the master build is just its own thing. You just use 3 and then it will build whatever the heck it wants. The regular build mechanic is just, there's just going to be a bunch of, like, bouncing, like, bricks. But I don't even think you really use that much. I don't even think I'm pretty sure there's, like, one section where you use that. Anyway, this section sucks. So pretty much right away, this car is going to come by. The faster way to shoot is to mash, but I'm not going to do that, because if I destroy this thing too fast, I soft lock. This used to be the first stage, because we didn't know what caused any of these soft locks. So then we can jump across, and then I'm going to destroy these. And if I actually swapped too early, the camera would just fly off into nothing. Yeah, this game soft locks a lot. That's the only reason why I'm kind of worried for this run, outside of the fact that I completely forgot that this marathon was going to be a thing. And just was off in the other room eating watermelon, because that's what I do. Here I'm gonna hold it. Hold this. This is supposed to give you a golden manual, which is a collectible. It doesn't matter. You can't speed the section up, it's just an auto-scroller. And then I'm going to wait until I wait to swap back to wild style, because if I swap back too fast, you can add to the count that you can't actually count towards, because if I swap too fast, I soft lock. What a surprise. And then I can go across this. Then I'm going to go back a little bit. And then destroy this thing. Sometimes the pieces will knock wild style off, and it did right there, so I just lose time, because why not? And here I just platform across. Nothing really crazy going on. Can we get... Yeah, we need to get a tally going. Now here, I just need to destroy a bunch of stuff that's in my way. You don't need to destroy these missiles, but I just do it anyway because it's a thing to do. And just dead time. Let's get some flags and go from there. And now that's that section. So now I need to swap to Emmett, which I can do during the cutscene. Shoot the back of that truck, which I can do during the cutscene. Then swap back, which again I can do in the cutscene. robot can kind of screw you over sometimes. Oh, that's the camera glitch I was talking about. It happens to pretty much any camera swap in the game. Now I'm going to swap again and shoot the things in the background because I need to shoot those for this next section. I'm supposed to shoot 3, but I already shot 1. And that was Escape from Bricksburg. Next up, I'm going to be doing Flatbush Gulch. And it starts off with like a 2-minute auto-scroller, so you can just kind of chill out. I can get a deep breath because I've been talking a lot. I'm avoiding studs. Don't know why. It's just a thing to do. In this next section, it's just gonna be another auto scroller. So you can just chill out. Falling. Also, this section always gets copyright claimed by Warner Brothers, so that's why we can't upload this to YouTube. If anyone's wondering. Pretty much this entire game is just hoping you don't soft lock and then just making sure that everything else doesn't just completely get screwed up. Or at least this game is just making sure you don't soft lock. It's just the entire game, because this game's just awful. It's so poorly made, and I just want to point out that this game got like 3 patches. This end product, which is still a complete mess, has 3 patches. Anyway, coming up soon, I'm going to enter the next section, which actually isn't an auto-scroller, and it's supposed to be like half the level, but we can skip it because the loading zone is just where it's like behind the gate anyway, so you don't need to do all of the crazy stuff you need to do to open the gate normally. So I'm just going to fly out of bounds because they just have like this gigantic hole in the invisible wall, and I can just fly through it. I can just fly straight through the invisible wall, then fly out of bounds. Hit the loading zone, and now all I have to do is go near Vitruvius, and that's the level. That's the entire level. Now, there is one more level in this hub world, which is Bricksburg, by the way. But I'm not going to do that yet, because I'm going to need to go into swap pants for that. And the pants in this section takes a long time to swap. So I'm going to go into Attacking Cloud Cuckoo Land, and the thing that lets me swap pants is really close. So it's faster to separate that hub world than to just go to the dispenser early. So anyway, this is Attack on Cloud Cuckoo Land. This is a level that's pretty much just fly straight to the end, for the most part. It's like really short. I do this master build because that's what triggers the micromanagers to appear. Make it go up, and then I just go here and wait for them to spawn. Then instead of using like the grapple and stuff, I can just use my laser like I have been before. This is an intended game mechanic. And then the last level, which is supposed to be like, you know, half of it, I can just fly to the end. So they all hop in the chicken so that they can go to the next section. This game's weird. So I can do the character management and end that level really quickly. Also, I'm using my splits and I'm pretty sure this is a gold. Yeah, 1 second gold. Now right away I'm going to use that so I can get the construction pants. This allows me to pretty much, when there's a construction build, I can ignore them completely, skipping the minigame and all of the instruction pages to use them. I can drop out here. And skip like half of the level and save 4 minutes just by using the construction pants. These pants are supposed to be from a cheat code, and I used the cheat code to get them. Now, the fastest way to move without the speed pants is to fly. So now I need to do this so I can go through the door. Do a master build, and then do a hack. I can hack the game, or not really hack the game, and there's a hacking mini game pretty much. So I'm going to drop in to make this faster, and then use it. Sometimes if you drop in and then use a hacking mini game too fast, it just doesn't do that. Yeah. The stud requirements are kind of high in this game, which is good because I don't know if this is true. I haven't really gotten any definitive timings. Now I can cancel out of the animation for both of these. Now here, that that door isn't an actual like door that you can like explode until you use this panel thing. And Emmett, when he's in like the Old West, can't drill, but the game thinks he is, so the character roster always gives them to you. You unfortunately can't avoid them because they're a character required to get in the story, so you can't start New Game Plus without them. And this is the calculator. The calculator is kind of bad. I need to put the code that's on the post-its. And I did that pretty well. It usually turns out kind of bad. Especially before the construction pants were used in runs. Yeah, it was always kind of a mess. It's awful to do. Now, I'm going to enter the depths. The depths, overall, is one of my least favorite levels. It's the obligatory underwater stage, where nothing happens throughout the entire thing. Yeah, that is a very awful calculator, overall. Now here, I can do a skip called music skip. I can just clip straight through these boulders. This entire level is 2D. And sometimes you just don't clip through all of them, but you can at least clip through this. It's kind of awful. Sometimes you just don't clip through both of them. Yeah, this is just going to be one of those where it just doesn't work. So I need to do this extra secret knock. Yeah, usually, like, that secret knock is what's skipped by doing the second one. Game looking very well made? Yep, pretty much. Now, usually you 1P2C this, but music skip makes it so it's completely unnecessary. Now, usually you would you would 1P2C it. You could skip you could overlap two cutscenes, but we can't do that. Wait, those enemies can use that? I didn't even know that. Nice. Speed strat. Bringing both of those over is kind of annoying, and it isn't really required, but I usually do it anyway, because it helps numb out the RNG that are those hacking minigames. So now I'm going to end up being underwater with swimming physics, meaning I can't do anything. Anything interesting. And this entire level is just going around the submarine to get to the back. Unfortunately, like, a way to skip this entire level won't happen ever, because the entire because the back of the submarine is a different section than the front of the submarine. So yeah, this is just mashing the A button, or the 2 button, depending on what you use. You just mash the jump button. I'm pretty sure it's faster. I don't know. I just prefer to do it anyway. And then this happens for like another 3 minutes. There's some stuff coming up. There's going to be swordfish, and they pretty much just push you back and are overall just really obnoxious. So this entire stage pretty much just runs on like 15 cycles. Now coming up, this is the swordfish. This used to be all RNG, but you can minimize the RNG by just going out of its aggro range and just waiting near the target that you need it to aim at. So now I just wait here for a bit. And hope he comes soon. There we go. That was pretty good-ish. Yeah, like I've had better. And the rest of the level is pretty much just avoiding swordfish. This part is dark and spooky, which has absolutely nothing to do with anything in gameplay at all. It's just an aesthetic. Some things will glow, I guess. That's not really gameplay, I guess. It's just a visual thing. Yeah, that is a very hard fish cycle to make. Now, upcoming are some eels. Now, I'm gonna aim to go near the top of the stage the entire time because it will skip a cutscene of everyone showing the screen. Yeah, it's... Ah, I didn't get the cutscene skip. I have not seen that in so long. Now, we can actually swap to pretty much ignore all of the actual damage that these things do to you. So I guess I'm going to do them here. And you can actually go out of bounds with this, but it's completely useless. Oh, see, I went out of bounds just then. I think... Okay. So I'm just going to go up here, use the secret knock on the back of the ship, and then swap back to Superman, and that's the entire level. There really is not much going on in this level. It's just boring. Yeah, that's the entirety of the depths. So now I'm just going to fly up and enter the next level, and it's the last one we need to do in the Cloud Cuckoo Land Hub World part. And this entire level is just doing 4 master builds, and that's it. So I'm just going to do this, which is going to allow me to do the first master build. Then do the second, then the third, then the fourth. And then that's the level. Now, believe it or not, we're about halfway, despite the fact that we've done most of the levels, because a lot of the later ones don't really have as many crazy skips. But there are a bunch of crazy skips in these levels. And the later levels are just longer. Now I'm going to kill these enemies. It is a 100% swag strat. It's just all a swag strat. It just starts a cutscene, but other things are happening during the cutscene, so it doesn't matter. You can literally leave them and ignore them. That's the second master build. And now I'm supposed to use this hacking minigame. Yeah, you're not actually moving. You can see with an out of bounds in like a couple of them. Now I just fly over and do the next one. Then once I'm done with this, I'm going to fly closer to the end point, which is going to pretty much drop me into it slightly early. I think it saves like half a second, if even. And go straight through it. Yeah, this game is kind of really true to the movie, most likely because they actually had to use the cutscenes from the movie, scenes from the movie, in the cutscenes, but FreePlay doesn't even have them, and either way you can skip them all. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the next hub world, because we're done with Cloud Cuckoo Land, we don't need to go back. I'm gonna go to Flatbush Rooftops, and here now this level is kind of weird to explain. Pretty much, Unikitty has a ranged attack, which pretty much brings her closer to the section, to where it's supposed to be. And for whatever reason, here, she can just do that through the invisible wall. I don't know why. Now you can do that, go straight through the invisible wall thing again, here, but the level isn't loaded properly. So it's completely pointless. So I'm going to destroy all that, then get up there, and it's a pretty, somewhat big amount of stuff. It just completely breaks the game for some reason. Because it's well made like that. And here, everything's just going to be done as normal. And the cutscene goes back here oddly early for some reason. And you can see that that's just one full model. This is supposed to be like a huge cutscene, but it just destroys the camera. Because that's just how well made this game is. Anyway, these robots, you're supposed to, like, use a ranged attack to defeat them. Or stun them, at least, so you can use them in the master build, because they'll usually try and kill you. But not only is one of the extras invincibility, so it doesn't do anything, but also you can just do that anyway, because you are fast and good at the game. Which the game developers did not intend you to happen, because who would honestly want to continue playing this? Now, if I do end up getting here quickly enough, I can start this. This master build during the cutscene. Now here, sometimes when I enter this, like, glider, I can immediately just pop back out of it. It still triggers the end of the level, though. Now here I just need to destroy a bunch of robots and cars and stuff. And this, like, on-rails shooting section. Now this part kind of sucks, because sometimes you just kind of, nothing really happens. That 1 out of 3 was something for a collectible I don't need. This is the game where I would say it's the, when it comes to LEGO games, that it's the most obvious that their only goal with this game was money. I feel like this is the game where it's the most obvious. And all these horses are like riding up the geometry because, again, this game's very well made. Sometimes these robots just take a long time to spawn. I don't know why. It just happens. Now I swapped to the wrong character, because why not? Now, Escape from Flatbush. This level is kind of a meme. Pretty much, we can immediately get out of bounds and then just fly straight to the end for like a minute, and then that's the level. So I just fly up, fly to the left, then just drop into the abyss, and it places me up here. This was found on complete accident. By the way. So I just fly across the entire level. Some stuff isn't loaded properly yet, because you're not supposed to be here yet, until some triggers happen. But I just fly across the entire level. I'm pretty sure that all you need to do is just fly up quickly. So I would, like, fall all the way, like, just went across the stage normally. And then I fell into the abyss during, like, a cutscene or something. And then I respawned at the top of the stage over the entire thing. If you actually go, like, down, or, like, towards the camera, there are unused assets. Which I find kind of cool, I guess. But other than that, that's really all the side of bounds has anything to offer. That was the entire stage. Here I'm gonna start a 1PTC because it's cool. Now right away I'm going to go behind the map. You're supposed to get back here, but there just isn't a wall behind this cloud. So I can just fly straight there. Now, it's going to toss me into the pit, because the cloud, I didn't move the cloud, because that's overrated. And the place where you get positioned right after that is random, because this game, again, this game's very well made. Now I can actually attack before then, and once I make the secret knock and I trigger the loading zone way earlier. It saves about like 10 seconds, because it takes like a bajillion years to just pretty much just go somewhere for some reason. Because I'm pretty sure they're supposed to like go all along the tubes and stuff, but the game never actually tracks them. And that was the entirety of the Old West. So now that I can, I'm going to go back to Bricksburg. And do this So I'm just 1p2cing this. I'm skipping like half the section because the only thing that you get from actually broadcasting any of the news in the level broadcast news is Bad Cop. And the only reason why we need him is to burn lasers, and we already have that because this is a new game plus. Now, this upcoming room is pretty glitchless. There's nothing going on. However, we are building the spaceship thing, which is a great section of this movie, and anyone who says otherwise is wrong. And there was actually supposed to be a spaceship level, but it was cut because of time constraints. There's actually like a pilotable spaceship in the code that's like on rails and stuff, but it doesn't work because it isn't finished in the code. The cutting room floor for this game is really interesting. So I'm going to do this hacking minigame like right away. And something I didn't mention is that in these, blue studs make you go even faster. So I make that route so that I touch the blue studs. Now I'm going to destroy these so that I can actually play this level and not struggle against these things for like 15 minutes. Yeah, this entire game is like 1p2c, especially if you're doing some of the new game categories, because the new game categories don't have that many skips. Anyway, time is actually going to be coming up soon. It starts when I lose control of... It stops when I lose control of my character, which is going to be in about a minute. So time is pretty much going to end when I do the upcoming master build. So pretty much all I need to do is just... Eventually it's just... Pretty much just walking in a straight line as Metalbeard and throwing a thing. So anyway, this is the master build. Time. I messed that up. Also, I golded and... Wow. So, that was a pretty good run. I feel. Thanks for the GG. I'm just gonna alt-tab into my game because I don't need it to be there anymore. That's pretty good. My sum of best is actually words. My sum of best is actually sub 55 now. Yeah, world record is world record is a 560. It's a 5607 by me. That's pretty good because it doesn't soft block ever. Yeah, thanks for having me on.